is Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestants. Player 1. Player 2.
Yeah!
Player 3. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Let's take you right now into the Jeopardy round. Clues are worth $200 to $1,000 in these categories. You are what you eat. Father of the bride. Biblical abominations. Birth and death. Eat well. And Sherlock Holmes. Where do we begin, player 1? Ah, yes, my sweet, if you eat this sticky liquid, comb and all, I'll definitely call you my this. It's player 1. Good. You get to pick again. Eat too many of this original gourmet jelly bean, and its name may describe your tummy. Let's hear it, player 1. That is correct. Select again. If I eat a Frankfurter before I show off my skiing stunts, you have every reason to call me one of these. Let's hear it, player 1. You are correct. You again, player 1. Louis Browning ate more than 22,000 of these cream-filled Hostess cakes. If you did the same, we'd call you one. Okay, player 1. Good. You again, player 1. If you spend your last dime on one of these New Orleans-style hero sandwiches, you really will turn into one. Yes, player 1?
Yeah!
Hey, you're right. Player 1, you pick again, please. This steel man who gave away $350 million gave away his daughter Margaret at her 1919 wedding. It's player 2. Correct. Player 2. On November 14th, 1973, his daughter Anne got married at Westminster Abbey, with 500 million watching on TV. Player 1. Yep. Player 1. In 2002, Ralph Steadman, who took a wild trip to this city with Hunter Thompson, went back to see his daughter wed. Okay, player 1. That's correct. Player 1. 9 weeks before he died, this Broadway lyricist got his daughter to the church on time. Yes, player 2. That is correct. Player 2. Days before the 1992 election, this candidate accused the GOP of trying to disrupt his daughter's wedding. It's player 1. Correct. Player 1, you start. Leviticus chapter 11 says, most insects that creep or fly are an abomination, but this 8th plague is kosher. Let's hear it, player 1. You are correct. You get to pick again. Leviticus chapter 11, verse 13 declares that this bird of prey, later a symbol of Roman legions, is an abomination. Okay, player 3. Yep. Okay, let's get back. Potpourri is not mentioned, but this burning perfume is an abomination according to Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 13. Let's hear it, player 3. Yep. Player 3. Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 10 says, "All that have not fins and these in the seas shall be an abomination." It's player 1. Right. Player 1. In Genesis, chapter 46, verse 34, "Every shepherd is an abomination unto this kingdom that was known as Kemet." Yes, player 2. You got it. Player 2, make a selection, please, as we continue. The number one cause of death in the United States isn't cancer, but disease of this organ. Let's hear it, player 1. That's it. Player 1. A cuneiform tablet dating to 2000 BC is the first known reference to the type of birth associated with this Roman leader. Okay, player 2. You got it. Player 2. The death in Venice is from this waterborne disease that has caused several pandemics. It's player 2. Good for you. Player 2. Louise Brown, the first baby conceived as the result of in vitro fertilization, was born in this decade. Okay, player 1. Right. Where do we begin, player 1? For 2011, the 10 highest fertility rates were in countries on this continent. Let's hear it, player 3. Right. All right, let's get back into this. Player 3. Eat a salad with this vegetable that can be classified as butterhead, crisp head, leaf, or romaine. It's player 3. Yes. Player 3. Some of the recommended whole types of this food pyramid product are quinoa, millet, sorghum, and barley. Yes, player 2. Right you are. A lot of clues. Among legumes, a good source of protein are peas and this type of seed, such as the pinto, white, or black variety. Yes, player 2. Right. Player 2. All right, here with the clue is Kelly.
Seen here is the hobo sign, meaning that this staple of life is available ahead.
Let's hear it, player 3. Yes. Player 3, if you want to go nuts, eat this nut native to Brazil and taken to Asia by Portuguese missionaries. Yes, player 1. Right. Player 1, where do we start? His second spin as Sherlock Holmes was subtitled, "A Game of Shadows." Yes, player 2. Yep. Player 2. He first played Sherlock Holmes on film in 1939. Player 1. You got it. Player 1.
Yeah!
Answer, it's the Daily Double. You are currently in the lead. Decide on your wager, player one. Here is your Daily Double clue. This star of Lawrence of Arabia voiced Sherlock Holmes for a series of cartoons in the 1980s. That puts you even further ahead. Player one, back. This one-time Willy Wonka took on the title role in 1975's The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes' Smarter Brother. Player two. Yes. Here's the $1,000 clue for you. Before Rain Man, he directed Young Sherlock Holmes, in which Holmes and Watson meet as boys at boarding school. Let's hear it, player three. Right. Player three will select first in Double Jeopardy right after this. Let's see what happens in Double Jeopardy with these categories awaiting the players. What a TV character. Rivers. Questions from a 1927 quiz book. Arabic. 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. And attraction. Player 3, you're in command of the board as we continue right now. Well, golly! He left his job and home in Mayberry to join the Marine Corps. Okay, player 1. Right. Player 1. On the Addams Family, he was married to Morticia. It's player 1. You got it. Pavel was the first name of this Star Trek character, played by Walter Koenig. Yes, player 1. Right. Player 1. During a dream sequence, it was revealed that this Richard Dean Anderson character had the first name Angus. It's player 1. Yep. Player 1. Hardcore fans of Gilligan's Island know that this character's real name is Roy Hinckley. Yes, player 2. That's it. Player 2, you start. Candido Rondon found the River of Doubt, now the Rio Roosevelt, which flows in this country's Amazonas state. It's player 2. Correct. Player 2. British River, on which Oxford's great rival university is located. It's player 3. Yes. Okay, let's get back. GE acknowledges that in the 20th century, it dumped PCBs into this river around Troy. Okay, player 3. That's correct. You get to pick again. It's fed by the Hasbani River in Lebanon and by the Banias in Syria. It's player 2. Yes. All right, let's get back into this. One of the Daily Doubles. You're in second place, so what is your wager going to be? All right, here's your clue. Its upper part runs clear. It clouds up near Great Falls, Montana, and gets muddier from there. Right. Player 2, back to you. Article 10 of this international organization's covenant implies that an attack on one is an attack on all. Yes, Player 1? Right you are. Okay, let's get back. Alfred E. Smith and William Gibbs McAdoo were two of the candidates for this party's presidential nomination in 1924. Player 3? Good for you. Player 3? This cabinet department is in charge of the enforcement of prohibition. Yes, Player 3? Good for you. We return to you, Player 3. The Tacna-Arica boundary line dispute involves Chile and this neighbor to the north. Okay, Player 1? Yes. Player 1? The present presiding officer of the U.S. Senate is this vice president. Yes, Player 3? Yes. All right, let's get back into this. Player 3. A shamal is a wind that whips up this blinding phenomenon. Yes, Player 2. You are correct. Player 2. The number 3 is talata, and this day of the week is el talat. Okay, Player 1. That's correct. Player 1. The name of this headdress for men may be related to the word coif. Yes, Player 1. Good. You get to pick again. Change one letter in wade to get this, a gully that's dry except during periods of rain. Yes, Player 2. Yes. Player 2. In Arabic, follow a hope about the future, like the train arriving shortly, with this, meaning God willing. Okay, Player 3. Hey, you're right. Player 3, you start. Associated with unicorns, the Qilin of this large country's pantheon visits when philosophers are born. Okay, Player 3. Yes. You get to pick again. Aye, aye, Odysseus. You want to blind Polyphemus, one of these. We, your captive crew, totally have your back. Player 1. Yeah! Good. Player 1, you start. Answer. The other daily double. And you have the lead. Decide on your wager, Player 1. And the daily double clue. Shadowfax, a horse of Rohan, was untamed until approached by this wizard. Congratulations, you're still in first, Player 1. Player 1, back to you. Bully for Theseus, who killed this bad two-legged monster that ate sacrifices in a Cretan maze. Yes, Player 3? That's correct. Player 3? Chiron, one of these four-legged mythical creatures, was good. He taught Jason and Achilles. It's Player 3. Good. You again, player 3. Using adsorption, yes, with a D, activated charcoal in these military items attracts harmful chemical vapors. Let's hear it, player 2. That's right, way to go! A lot of clues. Female deep-sea anglerfish use this, produced by bacteria, to attract prey. Yes, player 3? That's right, way to go! Okay, let's get back. In a covalent bond, two atoms each contribute one of these to a pair, which is then attracted to the atom's nuclei. Okay, player 3? Good. We return to you. Bombicol. One of these attractant hormones is sort of the Calvin Klein obsession of the female silk moth. Let's hear it, player 2. Correct. Here's the $2,000 clue. Newton found that the degree of gravitational attraction between two masses varies inversely with the square of this, r. It's player 3. Right. Looks like you'll all be moving on to Final Jeopardy after this break. This is the Final Jeopardy category for today. Musical history. Please enter your wager. And the last clue? It's the nursery rhyme that inspired the title of a famous musical based on a 1913 George Bernard Shaw work. What did you put as your response? With that correct response, you will gain. Let's see your response. With that correct response, you will gain. What did you put as your response? With that correct response, you will gain.
Yeah!
Player 1, congratulations to you. So long.